So here we are in the HSL tool, which stands for Hue, Saturation, and Luminance. There's a couple different ways to view this tool. You have the HSL tab or the color. The color just lays things out a little differently. Different ways of viewing the same tools. The controls are the same. In HSL, you have individual tabs, Hue, Saturation, Luminance, or you can click all and have them all laid out in one view pane. Personally, I prefer to view each one individually. So hue is going to control the hue of a color, pretty self-explanatory. So here we're controlling the blues, taking them from a greenish teal to a blue purple. Double click to reset. And can do the same thing with the oranges, taking them towards red or towards yellow. Saturation. You can take all the saturation out of one individual color or completely saturate it. Same thing with our oranges. So you can see it is a pretty powerful color grading tool. Luminance is going to control the brightness of an individual color. And then on top of that, we also have a target tool, which works under hue, saturation, and luminance. We can click that, hover on a color, lift up to slide the slider to the right, or down to slide it to the left. Going to reset. Let's do the same thing with saturation. So we'll take the target tool and lift up. And you can see when you do that, it will actually blend the colors. So we selected a little bit of red and a little bit of orange. Does a little AI figuring and boosts those accordingly. Reset both sliders. And let's just take a look at what we want to do with this image. So in color science, it is popular to emphasize colors opposite of the color wheel. So opposite of orange, we have blue. And since this image has a lot of orange and blue, we're going to use that to play to our favor. Hopping over to the hue slider, let's push our reds a little towards orange and our yellows a little towards orange as well. There's not a lot of green or aqua, but I do want to take the blues a little bit towards the teal, -5. I like how that looks there. Let's move on over to saturation. For saturation, we want to increase our orange a little, as well as our blue. And then we're going to drop our red and yellow a little, not too much, because there's going to be a mix of those in the orange. We'll drop our greens and aqua quite a bit, as well as our purples and magenta, really making blue and orange the dominant colors in the image. Hopping over to the luminance, I'm going to bring down my blues a little bit and brighten up my oranges quite a lot. I'm going to lift my yellows and reds a hair as well. And now we have a nice poppy bright bird against a darkened blue background with orange and blue as the primary colors. It's not a very hard tool to understand, but it is very powerful and can do some really neat color grades. The HSL Sliders.